Hello, it's Raymond, and I've got something so exciting to tell you. Why am I excited to tell you? Because I struggle each day to figure out what I can teach you that will dramatically increase your income. And so I look at my own life and said, well, what has increased my income? But using none of my own abilities. In other words, what can you do that anyone could do if they only knew they should, that doesn't need any specific skills? And I found it. And I've already taught you about branding by writing a book, and you know all about that. But in this video, I want to talk to you about something special. Everyone who's branded or wants to be branded needs to always respect a new concept called up-branding. Up-branding. What is up-branding? Up-branding is the art and the science. There's some art and there's some science to latching your brand onto a higher brand. So I'll give you an example. When Starbucks wanted to increase its sales, of course it could advertise more, but what they did was they just called up Oprah and said, Oprah, I know your favorite Starbucks drink is a chai latte. How would you like us to have a regular chai latte for the regular $3, but to have an Oprah chai latte for $3.50, and that extra 50 cents from around the whole world will donate to your charity, which came out to about $100,000 a day. Well, she grabbed it, and so she got a benefit. The big brand has to get a big benefit. But the lower brand, Starbucks, also got a huge benefit because so many people, when they poured into Starbucks, noticed, oh, Oprah is on the menu. Oprah, wow. And they were so excited, they took pictures of it and put it on social media. And then people who maybe have never had gone into Starbucks poured into Starbucks because it was associated with the higher brand of Oprah. Associated with the higher brand, that's right. And I got associated with higher brands and my income skyrocketed. I was invited by Jack Canfield to write a chicken soup book. So I got up-branded to not only Jack Canfield, but also to the name Chicken Soup. Wow. And then I got invited, because of that, I got invited to do a For Dummies book. Because my brand was so high, the For Dummies empire saw that my brand was so high, and they invited me to go even higher with the For Dummies series. And so I do what lots of other people do, and that is I constantly look around for artful and scientific ways to get up-branded. But 97% of people are not branded at all, and so they don't look for that. They just go to work, come home, watch TV, set the alarm, and do the same thing the next day, and wonder why they don't get ahead. And here it is, up-branding. And I'm inviting you to be up-branded to the biggest names in the whole world. Names you could never, ever, ever ally yourself with. Names that you could never, ever on your own get into some kind of relationship with, so that people will see your brand, which may be here, and their brand, which is way up here. Now, when you latch yourself to a higher brand, does your brand go all the way up to theirs? No. But how much of the way does it go up? And the answer is, it depends on how artful you are. It depends on how much art you put into the clever way that you latch to the higher brand. So if you see a movie star walking down the street and you say, hi, can I have a selfie with you? And you take a selfie on the street, everybody knows it's a selfie on the street. They may be a little tiny bit impressed. Maybe your brand will go up like a half an inch. It goes up a little bit because it's not that artful. It's just a darn selfie. However, when you learn how to do it well, when you learn how to do it really well, that's when your brand goes way up. And when your brand is higher, oh my gosh, money pours at you. Money pours at you. People will contact me from Bali, from Slovenia, from Singapore, from all over the world, and they'll say, Raymond, will pay you $50,000 for a speech. We'll give you $100,000 for a speech. And if I say, well, I'm busy that weekend, but I have one of my own students that I've trained, and he does an amazing job just as good as me, they say, no, I don't want them. I won't even pay them $1, but I'll pay you $50,000. Why? Because I'm branded, and I keep raising my brand and raising my brand and raising my brand. How? How do I keep raising my brand? And I've given you the answer, by up branding. I constantly look for up branding, and that's my message to you. Constantly look for ways to latch onto a higher brand. And I have one for you. I have a wonderful way to do it, and it's really artful. And because it's so artful, it dramatically raises your brand. And when your brand is dramatically higher, you automatically earn way more money. So how did I do it? Well, I got into a branded series, as I mentioned, Chicken Soup, and my speaker fee skyrocketed, my income skyrocketed, lots of things skyrocketed as soon as that happened. And of course, the For Dummies empire also allowed me to write a For Dummies book, and my brand skyrocketed and money started pouring in. Whatever I did, if I was a dentist, internet marketer, whatever I was doing, no matter what I was doing, that would skyrocket my income. And so I went to the For Dummies empire and I said, I have some clients of mine who would like to write a For Dummies book. And they said, sorry, it's gone. We don't want any more authors. We have enough authors to write all future For Dummies books. So then I contacted Jack Canfield and I said, let some of my friends in to the Chicken Soup series. They said, no, we've got all the authors we need to write all the future books that we can ever think of. And so I called my coach, because I don't make any decisions without my coach. And I said, I want them to be able to be up-branded by being in a series, a non-fiction branded series. And my coach said that you, Raymond, are the #1 most likely person to launch a really successful branded series. I said, why? He said, you are the only person in the world who's ever been in both a For Dummies book and a Chicken Soup book. The only one in the whole world. He said, if anyone's going to start one, it's going to be you. And he said, Raymond, I challenge you to come up with a name that immediately from the beginning, people will know if they got into the book, they're an authority. Now, let me clarify something. If you're an expert, you know stuff. Like if you're an expert, if you know how to be a pilot, you're an expert. If you know how to cut up a cow, you're an expert. If there are things that you know how to do, you're an expert. But most experts are broke. Who's rich? It's the authorities. If someone else thinks you're an expert, then you're an authority. See, if you know stuff, you're an expert. But if other people know that you know stuff, you're not just an expert, you're an authority. And that's different because all authorities are rich. So he said, Raymond, I challenge you, come out with a name for your nonfiction branded series that everyone will just know for sure that if one of your clients gets into that series, that they are automatically an authority. And yes, I've called my series The Authorities. If you get into this branded series, and there's an audition process because I have to keep the quality high. If you get into my branded series called The Authorities, then you will automatically be up-branded by getting into a series and also getting into a series called The Authority. Here's how it works. You write the first chapter, but we give you a professional writer to either write it all for you or write it with you, whatever you wish. But it doesn't get done until you say it's done, so it's absolutely perfect. And your chapter is the lead chapter in the whole book. So it'll say The Authorities, and it'll have your picture on the cover, and it'll be a really beautiful cover, and yours is the first. Now, what's after yours? My chapter is after yours, and then there's 2 other super unbelievably gigantic branded authorities, world-recognized names. The first one is Marci Shimoff. She is in the top 5 all-time most successful female nonfiction writers. She wrote, I think it was 7 Chicken Soup books, and she's written Happy for No Reason and Love for No Reason. Many of the women who get in like to choose Marci Shimoff. And also, wait till you hear this, you can choose 2 of these. So I've already told you one of them is Marci Shimoff, but wait till you hear this. You can also choose Dr. John Gray, the most amazing author of all time. You can also choose Les Brown, voted one of the top 5 greatest speakers in the entire history of the universe. And I am announcing now for the very first time, you won't believe it, Brian Tracy. Enormous, huge branded figures. You get me for sure, and you get 2 of Marci Shimoff, Dr. John Gray, Les Brown, Brian Tracy, and Brian Tracy's brand new. You'd never even heard that he was in a series. All you have to do to see if you qualify is go to the website. You can see the link on the screen now, RaymondAaron.com/The Authorities Book. The Authorities Book. Raymond Aaron, spell my last name correctly, Aaron, RaymondAaron.com/The Authorities Book. And when you go there and complete a form, you'll be personally called and personally interviewed to see if you qualify. And if you qualify, wow. Now let me tell you something else that's special. The early adopters, the people who took a chance on me, they got in at a low tuition for getting into this series. And I've now published about 100 books in the Authorities series, and I haven't increased the tuition. It's still the same low early bird tuition as it was several years ago when I launched the series. No one even knew about the name The Authorities then, but my coach said it would grow, and it has grown, and it's extremely successful. And you can still get in, even with these brand new celebrities that I brought in, and even though it's already proven its success at the same tuition. This is your opportunity. Go to that website now and join me in this amazing opportunity to upbrand yourself. And as another bonus, I bring you up on my stage and give you an official book launch. I pay for all the costs of the book launch, but you, my dear friend, go to the back where I've set up a bookstore for you, and you can sell your books and keep all the money. You keep all the money. I suffer all the expenses. I do it for you. I can't wait to host your official book launch.